Welcome everyone to David Dudley Outdoors, and today we're going to be making venison jerky, deer jerky, whatever your preference is. And we all know jerky is a crowd pleaser. We love to nibble on it if we're fishing, if we're hunting, or just sitting in the office. But this is going to be a way that you can save a lot of money by making it yourself. It's very easy to do, so let's get right into it. All right, so there's two ways of cooking jerky. One is going to be a machine that is made to make jerky. These are fairly inexpensive. The one that I have right now has 5 trays. Or if you don't have a machine and you don't want to pay for one, you can do it this way. All right, the second option, if you don't have money to buy a dehydration machine, is using your stove. Now this does a very good job in itself. It's very simple. The only thing you're going to need is a 1/2-inch galvanized wire mesh. You can buy this at Tractor Supply, Walmart. Basically, this is made, we're putting this in there to lay the strips of jerky all over this. So when you are using your stove, you're going to put it in there. Once you have your meat on there, make sure you put a layer of aluminum foil on the bottom for your drippings of your stove. And you're only going to take your stove, put it to 150. If some people's stove don't go down to 150, you're going to go to the 170, which is as low as my stove goes. Now look, this is the other key. Take a utensil or whatever it is, and you're going to crack it, okay? Leave a crack. Do not shut it, okay? You're going to just take this. We're creating an airway that heat can escape. It can dry out. The key is cracking it. Put it on 150, crack it, lay on the wire mesh, and you have a dehydrator in your own kitchen. So when you do have, let's say, the back hindquarters of the deer, when you are dividing the muscles, it's pretty easy to do. It's kind of self-explanatory. So you're going to see, if you can look right here, you see these certain muscle lines right here. All you're going to do is take your knife and follow these muscle lines, and you'll see where the muscle separates. It really is easy to do. All right, now that we're done getting the meat off the bone, one point I want to make to you is that when you are cutting the actual strips that you're going to use for the jerky, it is very important, which makes it a lot easier, and I'm going to explain to you, is to have that meat almost frozen, not completely frozen. You want it as cold as you can get. The muscle gets firm, and it makes for easy cutting. Another helpful tip in getting rid of this silver skin is using a fillet knife. And whenever I get to a piece of silver skin, it's always good to use a good fillet knife that has a little flex to it. You're going to put the silver skin down like this, and as we cut, we're going to come in, turn the knife out, right? So we're going to come in, turn the knife out, come in, turn the knife out, and as you can see, we are leaving the silver skin on the muscle right here, okay? Instead of cutting right through, we're coming in, turn the knife out, and leaving the silver skin behind. When it comes to the size of the jerky, I like to keep it around an 1/8 inch of a cut, okay? So I want to keep consistent. Make sure you keep all your muscle consistently for cooking. So when you come in, you're just looking at 1/8 inch strips like this. And you can do whatever you want. You know, you can cut them up into, you can cut them in half to where they look like this. You can leave them whole. It's just more cutting work, whatever you like. It doesn't matter. It still flavors the same. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to finish cutting up this meat. It's going to be in a time-lapse video, and then I'm going to show you the best part of all, is how to spice it up, how to get the flavor that you want. here's where it gets fun. And this is where you can get creative with your spices and what you like. Some people like, oh, I love really hot stuff. Some people like it sweet. Some people, it doesn't matter. Whatever your flavor is, the great thing about making your own jerky, you can make it your way. And what I want you to understand is that here you have a piece of muscle, and all we're doing is drying this out. So imagine this piece of muscle like a piece of rag of your best flavors that you like. Because all we're doing is creating this piece of muscle to absorb all the spices that you like into this piece of muscle. And it's very simple, but one of the key things I use in all of my jerky is number one base is going to be Worcestershire sauce. I reckon that's how you say it. Worcestershire sauce. This is the base of all my jerky. So if you are using cayenne pepper and you like black pepper or you like garlic or whatever, the wet sauce that I like to use. Now I like to infuse it also with Dale seasoning. Bulk of it this, a little bit of it this. And when I say a little bit, I know you guys are wanting me to get specific. I'm not getting specific because everybody, you might be doing 10 pounds of jerky, 5 pounds of jerky, 1 pound of jerky, just enough to wet. If all of your muscle is getting wet by these two ingredients, you're good, okay? So base 2. Now, this is something that I've just recently got a hold to, and it's called liquid smoke. None of these guys sponsor me, guys. If you follow my channel, this is just purely what I like, so this is not an endorsement. But this is actually liquid smoke. This is natural hickory. I've started infusing this in a lot of the meats that I'm cooking. It gives it that outdoor fire taste, like you've cooked it over a fire. It's actually pretty good. Now, I just mentioned that it's up to you and your flavor. So once you get this wet, and I'll show you a little bit about how I do this. So I'm basically going to take this, measure it like that. I'm not measuring it. Wow, well, we needed more than that. Yeah, that looks about good. Then, like I said, we're going to take a little bit of Dale's. Dale's is so good on steak, man. Just any kind of red muscle, really. A little bit of Dale's. Now, simply we're going to take all of our jerky, put it in here. Now that's enough to get this a little bit wet and a lot more, but I'm just giving you the idea of what we're doing. So when I say wet, see how all the muscle has now been infused with precise measurements that I did? All right. So when it comes to flavoring, this is the fun part. A reminder, guys, that this only absorbs your best flavors. So if you are a hot guy and you like, put crushed red peppers, put cayenne pepper on it. It doesn't matter. You can infuse A1 in it. I love paprika. I love Old Bay. I know Old Bay is a seafood spice, but I like Old Bay. And if I can put something in my mouth nibbling on Old Bay, I like it. If you like Creole seasoning, hey, Tony Chachere's, use that. It doesn't matter, salt, pepper, cayenne, garlic. It's only a dry rub that ends up infusing on that piece of muscle. That's the great thing about it, guys. Okay, once you have let it sit for probably 30 minutes, guys, it doesn't have to sit overnight and all day and all that stuff. 30 minutes is good enough for an 1/8 inch slice of jerky. You can massage it in there a little bit if you want to. Okay, so now that this has been sitting 30 minutes, we're simply gonna take the muscle and we're gonna bring it out over here. We're gonna spread it out over this drying rack. So it's simply just, and one thing you want to do is make sure that it's not folded. Like, see how that came out? Sometimes they'll sit there and they're folded over. Make sure everything is laying flat on its side. Flat. This right here, guys, would probably be more like, you know, all this jerky that I just made would probably be $15 to $20, just this tray alone, and you're saving that kind of money. That's what's awesome about making your own jerky, and you get to make it in the flavor you like it to make. Now again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that you can use your own stove, which does a very good job whether you have a machine or not. You're going to put it, just a reminder, 150 to 170. Leave your lid open, crack it, make sure air can escape. And again, you're just going to lay your strips of jerky on this, place it in the oven. You're doing the same thing. Now for time-wise, okay, I have a machine here for time. And on this machine, I like to go a 10-hour cure time, which has an automatic shut off. If you're using your stove, you're gonna want, if you're using 1/8 inch like I do, 6 hours is about the max that I'm gonna go. Keep an eye on it. You don't want it to get crispy. You still want that little bit of flex in deer jerky. You don't want it going to the extreme of getting like brittle where you can break it. So pull one out hour by hour, pull one out, just kind of feel it, flex it. Hey, you might end up being at a 5-hour cure time depending on your cuts that you make. So cure time, depending on what you use, 5 hours in the stove, 5 to 6 hours, 10 hours in this machine that I've bought. So it's your choice. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yes, we're getting ready to look at the finished product. The finished product is always just, it's like opening up a Christmas present. I might even actually eat it for breakfast this morning. It's the next day and we're done. I slept, let it work overnight, do its job overnight. And again, guys, it doesn't matter if you have a store-bought machine or you use your oven. This is a simple technique. So yes, let's take a look. We got our hot jerky. We got our, I can't remember jerky. Definitely the paprika jerky and Old Bay jerky. Guys, this is a simple thing to do. It's a crowd pleaser and a money saver. A money saver. We all know jerky costs a lot of money. So again, you can do this with deer. You can do it with beef that you buy in the store. It's your choice, but I like going out to God's grocery store and getting my own jerky. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. And guys, comment. You might have a seasoning that you like better than what I showed you. I'm always willing to learn. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video, and I'm giving you the double